Dear students, welcome you all to session 2 video of chapter Working Capital Management, Financial Management of 6th semester BCom of Mangalore University. We know that working capital management is concerned with the management of current assets and current liabilities in an organization. Now, the goal of working capital management is to maintain the firm's current assets and the liabilities in such a way that a satisfactory level of working capital is maintained. And if the firm do not maintain a satisfactory level of working capital, it is likely that the firm will be insolvent and it may even force the company into closure. At the same time, the firm should not maintain excessive working capital. Excessive working capital leads to various other problems like inventory mishandling or wastage of inventory, increase in bad debts, and finally it will lead to a reduction in profitability of the organization. So what the firm should do is, the firm should maintain a balanced working capital which is neither excessive nor inadequate. So let us understand the various factors affecting the working capital, also known as the determinants of working capital. First and foremost, the nature of business affects the working capital requirements of a business firm. In case of firms like trading and financial firms, they require very small investment in fixed assets, but they require large sum of money to be invested in the working capital. Now, for example, retail stores, they must carry large stock of variety of goods in order to cater to the needs of the customers. Now, the public utilities like the buses and train services require more investment in fixed assets and less investment in the current assets, and mainly they do not go for credit sales. They do have these cash transactions and they need not maintain huge investment in working capital. And similarly, in case of heavy industries, they come in between the trading and the public utilities. For that matter, they will have to maintain huge investment in fixed assets as well as a huge investment in working capital, because they require huge investment in stock of goods, raw materials, work in progress, and the finished goods. So the nature of business affects the size of working capital to be maintained in an organization. The next aspect is the size of the business. That is, the size of business or the scale of operation do affect the working capital requirement. Large scale companies or industries, they need more working capital than the small ones. The next factor which affect the working capital is the length of the operating cycle. It's another important determinant of working capital requirement. So operating cycle, we know, is the time required to convert cash into raw material into work in progress into finished goods, leading to sales, and finally the debtors into cash. So in case of companies having longer operating cycle like shipbuilding or aircraft manufacture, a larger investment is required in working progress, and hence the firm will have to maintain a larger investment in working capital. Similarly, the production cycle is also another important factor affecting the working capital. The production cycle is the time gap between the purchase of materials and the production of finished goods. That is the time involved in manufacture of the goods. Now, if the production cycle is a longer one, more working capital will be required in an organization. Now, the business cycle is another aspect which affects the working capital. So, the business fluctuation, it leads to the seasonal and cyclical fluctuations, which in turn affect the temporary working capital. So, when there is a boom condition, more working capital may be required. Similarly, lesser working capital will be required during the period of depression. The next factor which affects the working capital is the nature of demand. If the demand for products is stable, then the working capital requirements can be easily predicted. If the demand is highly fluctuating, then the firm will have to maintain more working capital. Availability of raw materials is another important factor affecting the working capital. That is, if there is a regular supply of raw materials, and then the firm need not maintain huge working capital. That is, if the supply is not certain, or if it is from far off places, then the organization must maintain a huge working capital. Nowadays what happens is the organization, they follow the policy of just in time. That is, the raw materials arrive just in time so that the production process can be continued. So here the firm need not maintain huge inventory. So they need not maintain huge working capital. The next aspect or the factor affecting the working capital is the operating efficiency of the firm. That is, companies which are highly efficient, they can carry on the production with the minimum raw material as well as the minimum workers. So what happens is they need to maintain lesser working capital. The credit policy of the firm also affect the working capital. That is, that credit terms to be granted to the customers, it may depend upon the norms of the industry, but also the firm also has the flexibility to decide. If the firm has a liberal credit policy, that is that the firm do not look into the credit worthiness of all the customers and things like that, there is a possibility that there will be huge debtors. Huge debtors means huge investment in current assets. And similarly, if the firm has got a very strict credit policy, the amount of debtors will come down, and which will actually reduce the investment in current assets. So the credit policy of the firm do influence the size of working capital in an organization. Similarly, the availability of credit from the suppliers. So when an organization purchases raw material from the suppliers, and if they are in a position to get these good raw materials on credit basis, then what happens is the company need not maintain cash to that extent. So what happens is the supplier's credit actually helps an organization to maintain less working capital. The prices of inputs. The inputs, like if the raw materials in cost is very high, then the investment in working capital will be very high. If the raw material inputs price of the raw materials are less, then the working capital requirement or the investment in working capital will be less. The dividend policy of a firm do affect the working capital. Now, how does it affect? If the firm has a policy or a liberal dividend policy, that is, firm feels to pay more dividend to the shareholders, then in such a case, the firm will have to maintain more cash, which means more current assets, that is, more investment in working capital. At the same time, if the firm follows a strict dividend policy, then the firm need not maintain more cash. That means the working capital requirements will be less. The taxes is another factor which affects the working capital. Now, there will be certain industries which are heavily taxed, like the cigarette manufacturing industry companies and all. They need more working capital to pay the taxes to the government. The level of automation. So automation means the use of machinery instead of laborers. So higher level of automation in the companies, it actually reduces the workers in the organization, and the lesser size of working capital is needed. So if there is a lower level of automation, we require more workforce. More workforce means more payment of wages and things like that, which in turn leads to larger working capital. Similarly, the expansion and the growth of the business is also another factor which affects the working capital requirement. As the company grows, we know that the larger amount of working capital will be required for the growth as well as the expansion of the business. So the various factors which affects the working capital are the nature of business, the size of the business, the length of the operating cycle, the production cycle, the business cycle, the nature of demand, the availability of raw materials, the efficiency, the operating efficiency of the organization, the credit policy of the organization, then the availability of credit from the suppliers, the prices of inputs or the raw materials used in the production, the dividend policy of the firm, the taxes, the level of automation in the organization, and the expansion and the growth of business. Thank you.